Alright, welcome back to another episode on our RNG series. First of all, I would actually like to say that I do really appreciate the support on the series that I am currently doing. I couldn't thank you guys enough, and of course thank you guys for the 100 subs. It's been really fast. Like, I've only posted for about 1 month this series, and it would say it's gotten me pretty far, so I would thank you guys a lot. So in today's episode we're gonna be bug fixing a bit, because Rune actually commented on every episode so far, and I would like to give a small shout out to him. Of course, he commented 2 little bugs that we are gonna be fixing this episode, and then we are also gonna be taking a look at how to make auras. Right, so first of all, if we head into the bottom bar and then to our rolling handler, which we've made before, we can go all the way down to this part right here. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out these 4 lines right here. Then we're gonna put them up here, where we toggle both of those buttons off. And then, while we're at it, we are gonna fix a different bug. Actually, first of all, if you move those lines up here, this was just a little bug, because if you were about to roll something and you're in like this accept decline menu, if you waited long enough, you could just roll again, and that was really buggy. So that is fixed. So now we're gonna be taking a look at a harder bug, which was actually when you I can actually show you this. I haven't fixed this. If I were to roll right now, right, I get basic. That's completely fine. I don't want it. So you can see I only have 1 basic in my inventory. The other one I have declined. If I were to roll again, that's a common. And if I accept this, I should only get 1 common and still have 1 basic in my inventory. But as you can see, I now have 2 basics, because one of those, or like if I hit decline first, that still gets accepted for whatever reason. So what I've discovered is it is a actual problem with the connections of buttons. It's really way too complicated for me to explain. I also don't really know how connections work, so I'm still figuring that out. But what I've noticed you can do is basically setting the result to nil every time you roll something. So that's basically a small debug first. Then we can also go up to this remote, right? Then we can add a tab right before, just say if result, there we go. Then you can actually end this. Right, what this does is it actually just checks first if we have a result. That's another bug fix that we can do. And now for the important part, we have to add 2 variables. So local accept connection, comma, decline connection. These 2 connections are gonna be set to this function. So accept connection like this, and down here, decline connection. So we are basically setting a connection for each of these button presses. Up here in the accept connections, or accept connection, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check for any decline connections. So if decline connection, then go ahead and disconnect this decline connection right here. Down here in the decline connection, you can do the same for the accept connection. So hit accept connection, then accept connection, disconnect. That's basically everything that we have to do. If we hit play and hit roll, you can see I get a common. Actually, first of all, I'm gonna clear out my inventory real quick, just so it's better to see. Right, I hit roll. I already declined a common, so I don't have anything in my inventory. If I were to roll a common, I should only have one common in my inventory. And as you can see, I only have one common in my inventory. If I were to actually roll something else instead of commons, if I would actually roll something else than commons, please. Okay, fine, I'm not getting anything else, but you can see I only will get the aura that I actually rolled. So that's fixed as well. As I said, that was, or those were small bug fixes. So now we're gonna be taking a look at how to make actual auras for our RNG game. So I'm gonna be linking 3 different plugins in the description. 2 are for, you know, making actual auras or being better at making auras, and 1 for the actual animating of our character, or just inserting dummies like this. This is the Moon Animator 2. I'm gonna be linking, as I just said, everything in the description. So if I were to get this rig right here, I can go inside here. I could rename him temp rig, because this is, as I just said, a template. I can go inside the head and delete every attachment, as well as the humanoid root part. I don't need any of those attachments or Model 6Ds. You can also connect them or disconnect them. And that's basically everything that we're doing for this rig. This is just to really clear out anything. You can also go ahead and delete everything in the head, and then we can get started. If we were to go inside the humanoid root part, this is a invisible object, right? This invisible object, if I were to toggle this on, you can see it's exactly where the torso is. This is just a invisible part which stays the same every time. It's basically to get your local position. So if I were to add a attachment to this, right, this attachment will always stay right here. I could also add a particle emitter inside here. This is what we basically use to make auras, and all of this UI is to, you know, adjust everything. If I were to set the lifetime of this particle to 1, you can see the beam of this particle actually shortens down a lot. I could also set the rate to something else, so less particles spawn. In auras it's actually really good if you have less particles, so lower end devices like phones can play this better. Most auras also have a light influence of 0 and a light emission of 1, so you can adjust this better. And then if you want to make a floor, so like anything that's below the feet, you can say that the orientation should be velocity perpendicular, so it goes upwards like this. And then we can change the position of the attachment. This position inside the humanoid root part is like 3 studs above the ground. So if we were to move this 3 studs down, it's exactly on the ground, which is good, but there's a small problem with C bugging or C index bugging. So we're gonna move it just a slight bit below the 3 studs that we actually have. So it's just a bit above the ground, you can barely tell. So we can grab the speed, this is 0.01, and you can see it will stay on the ground. This is just a really quick tutorial on the auras, as I just said, so it really shouldn't take long. If I were to adjust the size, I can say that this is very big, right? I could also make this like 5, and with this plugin right here I could say I wanna start off at 0 and the max scale should be 5, right? This doesn't do anything yet, but I can go ahead and choose a curve. So I would like this, and if I hit size, you can see that it kind of flashes in a way. If I choose a different curve, it's instantly gonna go to 5 and then slowly get bigger till the end. If I now set the rotation to 360, negative 360, you can see it goes in every direction. I can also change the transparency with this plugin, and that's basically everything you can do with this plugin. You can also emit certain particles, you can do a duration, and there are a bunch of different options which I actually haven't discovered yet. This right here, the Easy VFX plugin, is something else. It is just to get textures for each particle. If you don't know how to make auras, there are a few good tutorials on YouTube, but I recommend testing until you find something good. What I sometimes do is basically just go to sigils, which is mostly used for floors or like the back of the actual humanoid, which is basically just one of those weird textures, I would say. But for this aura, I think I'm gonna just use a fog for now. Actually, maybe just a shine. Yeah, a shine is like a star you can use in your cutscene as well. So let's just... Oh, I didn't mean to do this. I could go to the flipbooks down here and find a animated shine. So maybe it looks better, maybe it doesn't. I can hit apply when I've selected the particle emitter. You can see that it gets actually directly applied to this, as the button says. So I could also get maybe this one. This doesn't look as good, so I can maybe... Yeah, you can just basically test out what you'd like and what you don't like. With particles, it is really just experimenting a lot until you have something that actually looks decent. I don't think I'm gonna be spending a lot of time on this aura, since I don't really... I mean this is a common aura, so I don't need to do a lot. So I'm gonna be making a time lapse of me doing this aura, and then I will be back. Alright, I'm back. So as you can see, this is really just a test aura, I would say, for like common or any low tier aura, which just uses one singular particle emitter. You can look at this, you can copy this, all of the properties on this side right here, so you can kind of test out what you'd like. For this episode, we can probably also take a look at custom titles. So what we're gonna do for, you know, really custom titles, we can go ahead and go into the head. Then we're gonna do a billboard GUI, which is gonna be a floating GUI. So we can set the size to maybe 5,0,2,0. So it's a really big box. Maybe also increase this to 10 and this decrease to 1. I don't like one, maybe 0.5, 1.5, yeah, that's good. Alright, for the starts offset, we're gonna do 5 starts above the player. Okay, that's way too much. Maybe like 3 starts above the player. We could also do 2. Yeah, for this aura, 2 offset would be great. So you kind of just experiment with this. You have to make sure that the size is on a scale instead of a offset, because if I were to zoom out or go further away, it will stay the same size, and using offset it will be kind of weird, right? So I'm gonna add a text label inside here with the anchor point 0.5, 0. Same for the position 0.5, 0. Like this. The size can be 1,65, like this. Background transparency 1. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Then you can go down here, hit text scaled, and this is your aura label, I guess. So you can choose anything you'd like. I'm gonna go with our UI font that we had every time. So where is it? So on one space there. I'm gonna use this just for the common aura. So I can make the text color white. I can say common. It's gonna be our aura name. Duplicate this. Say aura rarity. And then we can adjust the position to 0.6 instead of 0.65. Then we can also do this scale to 1.4. There you go, this looks good. And inside here I can just say 1 in 2. And that's our entire aura that we need. Right, that's basically everything. This is gonna be our header, like this. And that's everything that we're gonna do for the aura. Inside this temp-rig we can also get rid of the humanoid. We're not gonna need that. Now it will look weird, I know. But you just need to make sure that you have those parts. Now that we have this temp-rig, we can go ahead and go into the replicated search, make a new folder called _auras. Insert this temp-rig into here. We're gonna name this exactly how we have it in our module. Inside our auras module right here, I have common, and this should be exactly the same. Right, that's our setup that we're gonna do for the auras. You can also duplicate this, paste this back inside here, rename this to basic or whatever you have, and then just change this, right? But we're not gonna be doing this for now. I am probably gonna do some auras off cam maybe. And that's basically it. The aura equipping is gonna be in a later episode, so probably I would say probably next episode or maybe in 2 episodes, because we're also gonna be scripting the inventory once again, so we can actually select singular auras in our inventory, which we haven't done yet. So thank you guys for watching. As I said previously, thank you for the support, and yeah, see you really in the next episode. I hope you stay. Goodbye.